I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jackie. Welcome back to Dumb Witch Club.
Yay! It feels like we've been gone.
We have. Well, we were gone, and then we were back very briefly, and then we were gone again, and now we're back again. Yeah, it's been a little up and down.
It has.
A little wild.
It has.
Which is crazy, because this is the year of nothing, people.
Oh my god, yes, it is supposed to be the year of nothing. The year of nothing.
I know.
What?
What even is
Where?
that?
When?
I know. So no, that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit later in this episode.
Yeah.
But it is funny how busy it has been.
I know. And just wild. I don't know. Lots of energy around.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's do a card pull. I'm excited about this.
Angel number oracle deck.
I love this. And I think we have featured this on the show prior.
Once. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it because, we all know about like angel numbers, and usually it's just like, like the time or like 111 or whatever. Yeah. But this has like way more than just those smaller combinations, and has like 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 and a bunch of different things. So there's a lot to choose from and a lot of different energies that kind of can pull and combine. So anyway, I really like it.
I like it too, and I love the art. It's the Pulp Girls, which if you follow them on social media, they always post that great art, and it's like really inclusive, and they show all kinds of just like different representation, and you can see yourself in it, and they're just so cute. Like, every time they do a little Scorpio one, I'm like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we love supporting other artists and femme people. And
yes, we do. We're just really kind, generous, amazing people like that.
I think so.
And anybody who disagrees, probably doesn't know who we are.
And I would challenge you to find that person.
Yeah, and if you do, tell them not to talk to us. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, let's do a card pull.
Your little laugh was so mischievous.
I'm excited. Okay. Ooh, 4141. It says habit.
Okay.
And it's kind of got a pink and a purple, because all these cards kind of have different colors, and they almost
colors,
like aura kind of, are kind of representations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Habit. What do I think about this? Is it because we're back in the habit?
I feel
back on that shit, on that dumb witch shit.
Maybe it's like a reminder that even if things are feeling a little bit crazy or fraught or whatever, if you focus on the things you make habitual, it helps to go over those times, because you can just really kind of sometimes you really do have to just focus on the simplest of things, like a habit that you're doing.
That's true. And anything can be a habit. And sometimes they're intentional, we can make a habit of something.
Sure.
And sometimes they're unintentional, and sometimes we might call those bad habits or things we wish we didn't do. It's important not to put value judgments on everything, but just the little things that you kind of do day in and day out. I think being just more intentional about that stuff, especially if you're feeling like you're having a hard time, it can ground yourself in little habits and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And I like that you pointed out kind of the other side of that too, because I think it's important to look at both, the things that are grounding you that you're doing that are habitual, but also maybe getting a little inquisitive about the stuff you are doing habitually that maybe is not working out for you right now.
Yeah, and maybe it's not serving you, even though it's become a habit. You're not thinking about it, but maybe you can take a look at that. So that is interesting. And I feel like, Gemini season is, I don't know, it's kind of a time for change, I feel like.
It totally is. And it's a time to kind of look at those things and get kind of curious about that and confront that a little bit in a non-threatening way.
Definitely, and in a gentle way.
Yes.
So, okay, all right. Well, I like that.
We'll take it.
We'll take it.
We'll take it.
And we'll leave it.
That's right there.
Okay, what have we got for why, though?
Oh, so much.
Yeah, there's some things going on, but also, not.
Yeah, it's kind of both. It's kind of oh yeah, okay, that's happening. Okay, yeah, that's happening. It's more like that. It's not like other why those where we're okay, here's the deal. This is and that, and you tap into this. It didn't putting this together, I was okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like this is not a spill the tea why, though.
No, it's not.
it's kind of just, there's a few things that are happening.
Yeah, it's like you can drink some TY, though.
Yeah, totally.
Like, you can have some tea if you want.
Sit back, relax, have a cup of tea,
Yeah.
listen. So, okay, what do we have first? You have a couple things before what I have, so go
Okay,
ahead.
and we may have already mentioned this, so I'll just, briefly say it again. But June 3rd, Mercury into Gemini.
Yes, correct.
And Mercury is exalted in Gemini. Mercury really loves being in Gemini. Mercury is just going to talk. Loves to do that. You're probably going to have lots of really just good conversations. And these are not conversations of like Scorpio season conversations where you're like getting into your childhood and what is your shadow side. It's not that. It's fun stuff. It's social stuff. It's like, you're going to like it. It's gonna be cute.
Yeah, it's cute and it's kind of silly.
Yeah.
And it's funsies.
Yeah, and you're like, who, me? Okay.
Yeah. You're like, it girl, where, what?
Totally. I am
Yes,
that girl.
no, but also, I mean, just to also put a little bit of a, just so, not a warning, like, but onto that, Mercury does love being in Gemini, but that is some fast moving energy.
Oh, yeah.
So just keep in mind, like, things might seem like you're like, wait, what? Wait, what? Did I miss something? And
like certain people that I might know who have their Mercury placement in Gemini in their birth chart.
Well, and sometimes there's just a lot of talking that's happening there.
A lot of talking.
So a lot of chit chat. So we love it. We love it.
We love it. We love it. It's all good.
We also have a new moon.
Yes, a new moon in Gemini. We love a new moon. Yes. We love that phase. So that is where we're planting those seeds. We are laying the groundwork for the season to come. And I love a new moon in Gemini because Gemini is a mutable sign and it's an air sign. So it's very like playful and curious and like what could possibly come up this season. And like, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's so cute.
So yeah, you can tap into like what you've been dreaming about, but maybe you haven't like put it into words or something. So.
No, see, and I like that both of those are coming while Mars is still in Aries.
Yes.
Because Mars is going to go into Taurus on the 9th, and I think that is going to be a significant change in the energy, just in the entire kind of like skyscape. Mars in Aries is very like fiery and forward and really making things happen.
Sure.
And Mars in Taurus, I mean, that's like putting the brakes on in a lot of ways.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's, as we always say, like that energy is also needed. It can be productive. It's just going to be much more kind of grounded.
Yeah.
And maybe not the rushing forward kind of,
Yeah, it's a good thing because as you mentioned with like the Mercury in Gemini and like that Gemini energy, it can feel a little fast.
Yes.
Can feel a little bit like, oh gosh, like what's going on? And so yeah, the Taurus energy coming in is really going to give you that like pressure off a little bit of like, okay, wait, hold on. Like we're talking about a lot of things. I love it, but what do I really want to kind of commit to? And what do I really want to kind of entertain right now? And what do I not?
Yes, definitely. I think it is an opportunity to like kind of all the ideas or all the things or all the energy that you generated with Mars and Aries to kind of like really prioritize, kind of, trim some of that, let it go, really decide where your values are. And that's like a very Taurian kind of, energetic place. So yeah. Okay.
I'm looking forward to that. Actually.
I like that. Yeah, no, I like that too. Yeah. I mean, I think again, like as we say often, it's like a nice change of pace.
Yeah, exactly.
And it kind of starts to give a balance to some of these other energies that are happening together.
Yep.
So
totally.
Yes. Okay. So what I have next, there's 3 things, and I'm kind of combining them all into one thing.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
And you may have some of the same stuff. But so what's going to happen is we're going to have the Sun, Mercury, and Venus are all going to be squaring Saturn over a succession of days. I think it's the 8th, 9th, and the 12th.
Okay.
So I think for me, how I was picturing all of this, so Saturn is about, that kind of Capricorn 10th house energy, right? So our little professor friend Saturn, and, his little glasses and his little rules and all of this stuff, right?
His little rules.
So it's, when he's a little man with little rules.
He's like round.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
But it is about rules and limitations, and it's also about reputation and doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But it's also about anchoring.
Yep.
And having like a really solid kind of place that you're coming from, that earth kind of energy there too. It's associated a lot with father, which in tarot is an earth energy. So yeah. So anyways, So what we have, so there's Saturn. There's other personal planets that are all in Gemini, going to be squaring Saturn and Pisces. So we have that Gemini energy, that airiness, that lightness, right? That kind of like, happy, bubbly, like frenetic kind of energy.
Yes.
Meeting up and squaring. Squares are challenges.
Yeah.
Squares are opportunities, but squares are full of energy.
Yes.
Squares are like, here's the tension and let's break the tension, know? With Saturn and Pisces, which is that water, that depth, that watery, not a lot of energy really type of energy, less energetic energy. So I think what we really have here is an opportunity to decide, where are your limitations?
Yeah.
Do they exist?
Yeah.
Or as Pisces might think, they do not exist.
The limit does not exist.
Yeah, exactly. So I just think it's not even like, there's one way for you to interpret this. It's kind of just considering the way all of that is combining, taking a look at what houses are in play for you with those planets, each of the three and Saturn. Yeah. So anyway, I just feel like that's kind of a big little few days.
Yeah. That's good to know. That's really good to know. And I like the way that you framed it, because I think a lot of people might look at that or interpret that as like, Saturn's just going to like rain on this entire parade. But I don't see that. And I honestly don't get that. We tease about Saturn, but like, I don't get that vibe. Saturn is not telling you what to do.
No.
They're just being like, hey, okay, but think about it.
Yes. And I think that's kind of what people almost don't like.
Yeah, they don't.
I think people would rather be told, even though they're mad about being told.
Yeah.
Then when they're not told, they're mad about that too.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And it feels more like a personal choice if you're not told, and then it's your fault. So you can't like blame. But you can. You can
still blame Saturn if
totally
you want to. But
we do it all the time.
We definitely do. But yeah, so anyway, that's an interesting little time there.
I like that. That's good to know. And what days are they again?
8th, 9th, and 12th.
8th, 9th, 12th. Okay,
so
perfect.
It's just a few days clumped together there.
Okay, good to know. Good to put on my radar.
Yes. What else do you have? Anything else, my dear?
The last little bit, and I always gotta say it, on the 13th, we have our first quarter moon in Virgo.
Lovely.
I know. Any moon placement in Virgo is amazing.
Any moon placement at all.
Is amazing. Yes. So yeah, it's just, I think, kind of like piggybacking off of that Taurus energy, like that earth kind of grounded energy. Yeah, just like, how are you doing with all of those things? And, is that really what you want to be focusing on? And I think, too, with Virgo, it's like looking at, like, are you handling all this yourself, or are you getting the support that you need? Are you tapping into the support that you know is available to you, or are you just trying to strong arm this thing? Like, and if you are, then don't do that. Like
maybe you don't need to do that.
You don't need to do that. There's always support there for you. And so I think just kind of reminding yourself of that in that time period.
That is always a lovely reminder. So yeah, this is a pretty light version of why, though. And I really appreciate that.
So
and I think that's what we need anyways.
Yes.
So thank you, universe.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Saturn. Alrighty.
Okay, big witch energy. So, I feel like we've mentioned this.
Yeah.
But we have not done a full expose on this.
Expose!
Yeah.
Hard copy.
Yes.
Remember that show?
Yes.
Was I allowed to watch that show? I don't know.
Geraldo Rivera?
I don't know if I was allowed to watch it, but I definitely would.
Well, you shouldn't have been. The name is very...
Yeah, and they would do... Wasn't there was like a song, and it was like... It was like
very violent.
Yeah, it was... Yeah. The theme songs of the shows in the 80s and 90s, like the theme song of, what's it called? Unsolved Mystery. Like, it scares me.
No, that shit was no joke.
It's scary.
I know.
And unhinged.
Yes, that show, we should do a whole show.
We gotta do a whole show on this, because I want to know if other people are watching these. Like, we need to know.
Actually, it's really easy to access a lot of those old programs. Maybe not hard copy, okay?
Yeah, I don't even know where that came from.
It's kind of irrelevant now, because those were like stories that, well, I don't know, they could still be really entertaining, but Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries, that's okay.
One.
Yeah,
anyways,
we're gonna do a show on that. Okay, anyways, whatever.
So the year of nothing was this idea that really came out of 2023 having been the year of everything.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure exactly at what point towards the end of 2023.
Yeah.
We started saying like, okay, next year, we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. And at the time we were like, we are not doing a single thing.
Nothing.
We are like passenger princesses on the globe spinning around.
Yes.
Like, we're doing nothing.
Yeah.
We were so just inundated with things. Which, okay, now I sound like all negative. Like, everyone's like, oh, so sad for you. You had to, like, have weddings and everything. Okay, no, they were good things. I'm not saying they weren't. But still, it's a lot of energy.
Well, I know. And so what I actually wanted to do before we dive into the check-in of this year of nothing, I want to sort of outline what the year of everything included. Okay? You ready for this?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on these. And there may be things that I've even forgotten, so you can remind me.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay, so what we had in 2023 was an engagement.
Yes.
A party for said engagement.
Yes. Great party.
We had a graduation.
Oh my God, yeah.
And a party for said graduation.
Yes,
We had a child moving out of the home.
Oh my God, yeah.
Child as in adult, now moving out of the home.
Right.
Which also included for me 6 trips to the San Francisco area.
That's right.
Over like a 5-month period.
A lot of trips up and down California.
We had a trip to Vegas for a bachelorette.
Yes, we did. So fun.
We had milestone birthdays, including a weekend getaway and party associated with.
Yep.
And when I say birthdays, it was more than
plural.
one person's birthday. We had weddings, which is also plural. We had buying a house.
Oh my God.
And moving into the house.
Oh my God. Literally slipped my mind.
Yeah. We also had the month of October, which we did local, but freaking packed.
I don't know what we were thinking.
We did like 8 events.
Yeah, we did everything.
In October, including a Halloween party on Halloween at my house here. And it wasn't like a huge party, but it was a get-together. It was a better way to say it. But it was a thing.
It was not just us.
No, and we did a group costume
Yep.
with other people.
A lot of people.
Yes.
Not just like 3, 4 people. No, more.
So, okay, that was what, off the top of my head, I could include in the year 2023. Is there anything major that I may have forgotten?
Multiple.
Oh.
Yeah, multiple trips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's more trips. So you went to Hawaii.
Yes.
And I went to Hawaii.
Yes.
Separately. So those were 2 trips.
My Lord.
Forgot about those. Oh, we also went to... See, our producer's helping us out.
Yeah.
We also went to Palm Springs.
Multiple times.
I think 3 times? Definitely 2 times.
You may have gone maybe even more
Oh,
than
yeah.
that.
No, I did.
Yeah, you did.
So that's also 2 additional trips.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
And I think we did like Julian and the mountains.
Yes.
I don't know.
Correct.
I'm pretty sure that was last year.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Oh, my God. So anyway, there's more. There's even more. And so that was 2023.
Yeah, that was wild.
And man, it was fun. It was good. I mean, truly, there's nothing bad on this list. Everything on this list is lovely and celebratory and happy. And it was just a lot.
It was so much.
It was really a lot. And some of it was like known ahead of time. Like obviously a graduation, you know someone's going to be graduating in a certain year.
Yeah.
But a lot of that other stuff was just what was happening.
Yeah, it was just what was happening. And then we had to, and like we were significantly involved in every single one of these things.
Every single one of these. It's not, not in passing. So anyway, that all is what led us to say in 2024, we can't.
We
no
can't.
more.
There
have nothing left.
Yes, like
There's
how much
nothing
more
left.
could there be?
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
So we devised this year of nothing.
We did.
Which the name is also slightly derived from this novel that we have both read and loved called My Year of Rest and Relaxation.
Yes, great book. You should read it.
Great book. You should read it. Jane read it. My daughter just read it. So she loved it too. So anyways, so how are we doing so far in this year of nothing?
Well, this year of nothing...
Has there been nothing in this year of nothing?
There has not been nothing.
No, there's not been nothing.
I will, have to report. There really has not been nothing. But it's so funny because Dumb Witch Club stands. Do we have stands? Do we? I don't know. Name yourselves.
We have
Probably
at least
we do.
one.
We have at least one or two or a couple. Yeah, we have. We do. We know who you are. You know who you are. Whatever. Dumb Witch Club stands will be like, oh, you guys were saying that there was nothing at the beginning of the year and you were so bored and like time was moving so slow. Okay, you're right, but you don't really need to like bring up those receipts. We don't need that. We already know we're dumb.
That is not what we're talking about
That's
right now.
not what we're talking about because that passed and now it's June.
It is. So, but it also is true in January and even into February. We sat right here.
We did.
Right here.
Oh my God.
And we talked about how time was moving so slow, and January was the longest month in the history of the world.
We were like, it's January 46th. I was like texting her things like that.
Yes.
I was like, welcome to January 47th.
Yeah, and then we were also like, yeah, same with February, and now it's June.
And now it's June.
And
I know, and I was whining a lot. I was like, I remember, I was like, I
You
was like,
were.
I just want to like have, oh my gosh, so just like basic. I was like,
So
I want to
cringe.
have brunch on a patio. Like, I remember saying it. Like, why did you let me say that? I don't know. You can't control me.
I was just going to say, you think I can control what
No.
comes out of your mouth?
Of course
Like,
not.
no.
I said all kinds of unhinged shit on
Cannot.
this show, and you.
And elsewhere.
And you're like, whoa, that really came out there. And I'm
On
like,
airplanes,
on airplanes.
in hotels, whatever.
Oh yeah. One day we might have to tell that story. Yeah, that
It's
was
amazing. It's
that was
amazing
wild.
story.
That was wild.
Yes, I know, but you
Yes.
know, anyways.
Anyway, that was in the year of everything.
Yes, it was. You cannot hold us to anything.
No, I was doing the most. Now I'm doing the least, except I kind of was at the beginning of the year a little bit doing the most. I've calmed down. We've calmed down.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So, well, now, okay. So now we are mid-year, and that is
Yeah.
why we are having this little check-in and
Yeah.
kind of also presenting, I think, the idea and the concept to people.
Yes.
Because maybe you can't even have and truly, you can't have a year of nothing.
No, you
I mean, life goes on. You still have things and
Yes.
whatever, right? But the goal being to have less
Yes.
and to really preserve and conserve our energy. And all these things that we invested in last year, we loved them and they were
100%.
necessary.
Yeah.
But really, without all of those necessities, being able to be much more selective about where our energy goes.
Yeah.
So a lot
Exactly.
of my energy, well, two things. A lot of my energy has gone into just being home.
Yes.
And, you know, I have like a yard and yard work and home projects, which, yeah, I still did last year, like yard work. Obviously, I have to, and I like it, but just more of that.
Yeah.
More of like sitting and enjoying my own space that I have.
Yes.
Another main thing that I did in this year of nothing is I decided not to purchase any clothing this year.
I love that.
And unless it was like a necessity or something like that, you know, or for a specific event, which I don't really have a lot of. So I have ended up making like one major like purchase from a shop, which included a few different items, but they're super basics, like black pants, white tank top, you know, like that. So it's been very nice
I love that.
to have not had purchases, especially because the year of everything was expensive.
Oh my God, because what comes along with everything is a lot of bills.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but it's been very nice. So I do feel like I am accomplishing
Yeah.
my year of nothing, although I've still done stuff and had a good time.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like even though there are things, and like we've joked about it, like over the past few months now, we're kind of like halfway-ish through the year.
Yeah.
And we've joked like, okay, the year of nothing is ending up being like a lot, whatever. It really is not that much.
Especially not comparatively.
Not comparatively, and that's kind of how you have to look at it, because that's why we made the decision in the first place. So it's okay to be comparative about last year, I think, because that's the whole, you know, catalyst for this.
Correct.
Was that. Same. I feel like I have been focused on, like, I'm not going to manifest specifically the things, but if I'm just doing what I feel called to do and then things enter my orbit or opportunities
Yes.
come to me,
Yes.
then okay, you know, I will decide if I have like the energy for that. And chances are I'm going to, because I'm not filling everything else up with all these things. And so I probably will, and I'll have time to step back and consider, is this right?
Yes.
Because I did go on a trip, a long trip, probably one of the longest ones I've been on in, I don't know, over a decade.
Yeah, but I know, as we talked about, when the opportunity for that trip came to you, that one of the reasons you could go on it was because we didn't have other major trips already planned.
Exactly.
And so it was like, oh, well, I can do this because I'm not already doing a bunch of other things.
Exactly. Yes, and we were intentional about that too. And then, like me being home more this year, and it's a necessity because I'm like setting things up and doing projects and stuff like that and wanting to spend time in that space. There was no concept of like going and leaving and, doing anything like that. It was like, well, no, that's not going to happen this year, which I was totally fine with because fits in with the theme. But then this arrived and I'm like, well, no, like this is good. Like this is part of the year of nothing, but this is something that I need to prioritize.
Yes. And I think that is kind of one of the almost like paradoxes of planning to do nothing.
Yeah.
Is that you actually can end up doing something.
Yeah.
Because you have space for that.
Yes.
Yes.
And sometimes having, like, we were kind of touching on this in Why Though, but sometimes having decisions sort of a little bit made for you. I mean, you're still ultimately deciding, but like you're not cultivating it. You're not controlling it.
Right.
You're not manifesting it. It's happening sort of tangentially outside of you. That's remarkably liberating and like really fun because then you're just going with something and it's like not you that orchestrated the whole thing. It's like another reason or another person, and then you're making kind of the most out of that and fitting it into what that means for you. And that's, humans don't do that enough at all.
No, and I think especially as you are, and I am also within my like family unit, like very much the planner like person who's like, hey, what are we doing 6 months out? Let's start looking at flights, whatever, right? Yeah. So when you're not the one doing that, but there's an opportunity that comes to you, like, that's a nice thing.
Yeah, that's nice. That feels good. Again, passenger princess. Love
yes,
it.
exactly. So, yeah, and like in the midst of this year of nothing, I mean, I still like also, like I was saying those things a minute ago, but I've done several little like weekend getaways that I was able to do because there wasn't like other big stuff already happening. I still have plans for the summer in a local way of like having a, little vacation and stuff. But man, it's still busy. There's still a lot. Yeah. But I mean, one, it's less than last year.
Yeah, a lot less.
And I don't normally advocate for comparisons, but I think in this case, like you were saying, it's really the catalyst for this was that. Yeah, so I think it's helpful to make the comparison. Yeah. But it also really has felt like there's been a lot of downtime and a lot of space. And I've loved it.
I have too. And I think the other thing too, even though obviously we're doing Dumb Witch Club and we're giving you guys advice or like we're talking about topics and it's instructive in some ways and we're reminding you of things with Why Though, when it's happening and stuff like that. I don't feel like I've had to as tight of a grip on that. Like, oh God, I have to know about like every planetary like movement or like every lunar phase or whatever, not that we
ever did.
No. There's a reason why we're called Dumb Witch Club.
But we're not as stressed about it now.
Yeah, we're not as bothered. I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. Like, okay, whatever. And it really does because I'm like, okay, how can you possibly be into every single one of those things? You can't do that. And like, if you are doing that, I don't know, like maybe reevaluate like the practice because are you really getting something out of every single, I just don't think you are.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really valid thing is that, if you are really enriched and finding a lot of value from like being really on top of every single day, like transits and moon phase and what's happening, I mean, by all means, right? We would never tell you what to do. No. But there should not be this pressured sense of like, oh, I have to keep up with this. And if I don't, like something's going to happen, No, that's not the vibe.
I mean, even last year, I'm just reflecting back on last year. last year, we each had a book that was a spell a day.
Oh, God. We
and
did.
we were trying to do it.
Yeah.
And this is not like when we do spell of the week that you guys see, hopefully, and stuff. It was not like that. Like, we're soft with that. I think we're so cute about that. Like, not to toot our own horns, but I think we are cute about it. Whatever.
For sure.
I think it's cute.
It's low pressure.
I like it. I think it's cute. This was not. This was like, it's a Llewellyn production. So, they be like extra sometimes about stuff.
Yes.
It was like, get the peppercorns. I'm like, God, peppercorns.
The problem is that book was written by not dumb witches.
Yeah, no.
It's not for dumb witches.
No.
But we didn't know that. And so we were trying to do it. We're like, this is too much.
And it wasn't one person that wrote it so you could see where they got tired, because you would like get tired. It wasn't. It was like they had a different person for everyone. So they were coming in fresh as every spell. And I'm like, I'm like calling Jack, do you grow hemlock in your thing? She's like, that's poisonous. I'm like, okay, well,
I know.
We're supposed to have it. I don't know.
I know.
Can we do? She's like, do you have a red thread? I need. No, I don't. But I think, could we use this other color? I don't know.
Yeah.
The house is probably gonna fall down. But
if we do that, no, I know. That had an intensity. You're so right. I forgot about.
I love the book. I still have it.
Oh no, I love it too, and I've really gone back to it, and
I have too,
on a daily basis, but just been like, because you can use them. They are seasonal, but you can use them like, you can look at one and just be like, oh, that looks good. I like the sound of that. Whatever. So in a much more hands-off way, like it was so frenetic.
Dude, that's bad. Yes, they have one for 2024. I saw it. I was like, no, hell no.
No. And that's my fault. I bought that for us.
Not your fault at all.
Shouldn't have.
I loved it. Okay, in fact, I loved it so much. This is how crazy we were last year. I loved it so much. I'm pretty sure it was my first post of the year on my Instagram. Not on my stories, you guys. Like, it made the grid. I was like,
post.
I'm posting this with like the moon planner, which I still use. I like it. But I was like filling this out every day, doing these what was I thinking?
I don't know.
What is that?
Well, that's, yeah.
And I put that on my grid. That's embarrassing.
Well, you could always delete it.
I can, but it's there. It needs to stand there and shame me every time I open my app because I need to realize, like, nope, that was stupid.
I'm also pretty sure that I listed that in my Dumb Witch Club holiday gift idea episode, so do not go back and watch that.
You're like, get this. It's
I'm like,
amazing.
everybody, this is going to be so amazing. Like,
make sure you have hemlock. It wasn't
16 red threads that are 1 inch long, and like, oh my God, I know.
I was like, what are these?
Whew, I know.
Anyway.
So yeah. Anyway, that was highly symbolic.
Yes.
So no, this year it really has been a lot, just more low key.
Yeah, just doing what feels right, doing right. Like, and I feel like the spells of the week have been cool because it's like, this is what I'm doing and it's really not much of anything. And then sometimes it's like, this is what I'm doing, but I'm doing a little more. And I want you to think about this because this is important. So it's not
true.
We've really like shifted our mindset. And I feel like this is a better look. Years are going to come around where it's going to kind of be like it was in 2023 again, because you're going to have events like that again and stuff. But you can always, I think the mistake we made was like making the rest of life the same and not allowing space for those like bigger things and then just driving ourselves crazy.
Yes.
So
I think that's true. And I think that's kind of where, and like we've already talked about how this year of nothing is not a witchy thing per se, but it also kind of is because I think as witches we do need, we need to have a consistent practice, right? You're calling yourself a witch. You have to do something to be a witch, right? You can just say you are and whatever. I guess you don't technically have to do anything. But, if you're taking it seriously as part of who you are and your spirituality, then you want to do something,
of course,
right?
Yes.
But you don't have to go overboard with it. You don't have to do the most all the time.
No.
And witchcraft is about season. And it's about embodiment and taking sort of cues from those categories. I think, that's also how we landed up where we are here this year.
Exactly.
Kind
of like we've like talked about these concepts before and like given advice to other people and then made ourselves crazy trying to do it all.
Well, maybe. But again, dumb witches.
Dumb witches. It's nice though. I honestly, like you mentioning like the seasons thing made me think of this. because I feel like especially with the seasons we really enjoy, which obviously is spooky season and sort of like that vibe, I normally am starting to feel like the Halloween noose tighten around my neck by this time.
Yes, and we're almost getting to the like halfway to Christmas or halfway to Halloween, sorry.
Yes, and when they start, okay, that's something that I can't stand, by the way, just like side note. Those statistics drive me crazy. In some ways, I like them, but then when it's like 17 more Fridays and it's Thanksgiving, I'm like, what are you talking about? I can't do that.
Also, I do not, don't think in terms of how many Fridays until something. That's ridiculous.
I hate it. Like, I kind of like it because I'm like, oh, we're okay, like halfway to Halloween and like we're getting there. But then part of me is like, don't make me like...
No.
I just want to be here. And I feel like this year has been the most I'm not looking towards that. Like,
I agree.
We haven't even talked about like anything about it.
I know.
I'm happy about that. I don't care. I don't even want to know. I'm just like, yeah, that's going to happen. But that's not happening now.
No, I agree. And that was definitely not the case last year.
No.
So, yeah.
No. But then again, like, it wasn't the case last year. And yes, we did some fun things and I did really enjoy.
No, we did. And they were great.
We
also did like a photo shoot during that month.
Yeah,
like, oh,
it was fun. We did a lot of fun things.
Cute photos.
Very, very cute. And fun memories that we'll always have and stuff like that. But it always feels like a blur. And maybe it always does no matter what you do. I mean, that's probably somewhat true.
Well, it's because time is a construct, remember?
So of course it feels that way.
Yeah.
But it feels better. Like it feels like, okay, like that's just gonna come and it's gonna be what it is, and it doesn't have to be like overwrought.
I agree. So I'm really loving this concept. And I mean, you can't do it, I guess, every year in a row. No. But I think we learn things from giving something a try like this that we can take forward into like years to come without formally kind of doing it this way every year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like I think it's good that we're doing a check-in like at the halfway point.
It is nice.
Too. You always have to do check-ins because you do something like a resolution or whatever, and then you forget or whatever, it drops off. So it's good to remind yourself.
And it's a little bit of accountability. And like I said, we didn't really like do a kickoff for this in terms of like Dumb Witch Club letting y'all know, but I know we've sort of sprinkled it in, mentioning it here and there. But if you're hearing this and you're liking the sound of it, you can do a month of nothing.
Yeah.
You can do a year starting now until next June. Like, a year doesn't have to be a calendar year. We know this. Right. The astrological zodiac year is not a calendar year. So you can start now. If this appeals to you and it sounds like something that you need and you want, or when all your, like frantic events are over with, if you want to start your year of nothing, then like I really encourage you to do that. And whatever that means for you and however that looks for you, I think just keeping the concept in mind, I think it can be something cool. So let us know if you do it.
Yeah, let us know. Do less.
Yeah, do less.
Say less.
Do the least.
Do the least. Rot away.
Yes.
Just rot away. Some days we've had that. You just rot away in your bed. It's very important.
I know. We're still here.
Still here. Still doing things.
Whew. All right. That's all my big witch energy. How about you?
Yeah. It's a lot of energy to talk about not expending energy.
Yeah.
Everything is irony.
It is. So,
it's good.
Right.
All right.
Until next time.
Stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.
Jesus. Dumb Witch Club is written and hosted by us, Ashley Sidner
and Jackie Gerard, at the Dumb Witch Clubhouse in Orange County, California.
Produced and edited by Matt Heinemeyer. Art direction by Violet Turner. Culture consultant Jane Turner.
Original music by Ashley Sidner. Look us up on all your favorite social media platforms, including TikTok and Patreon.
Until next time, stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.